Hello, Jay from America's Roofing Company. This is Joel from JND SEO, and I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can beat your competition online. First things first, though, Jay, I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. At the end of the video, if you want to hear more info, I'm happy to answer any questions for you. And, if not, I got a bunch of free tips in here for you anyway. And even if, it's something that you could actually do yourself as well for your site, or if you have someone that you do use, you could pass it to them as well. All right, but the 3 things I'll cover are content, citations, and backlinks. And so I'm on actually your Yelp page, which is how I found you. And your website link here that I've clicked is actually going to bring me here, which it shows that your site is currently down. So if in the case that that's maybe not, either an old site or not your newest one and you do have another one, I'd be happy to actually look into that as well. But when talking about content, what I'm really looking to do is see how many words of content you do have. So I'm actually going to use one of your competitors' site, which is Superior Roofing. They're one of the top results in the area. So essentially, they're the ones with kind of the target on them. They're the ones that you want to get ahead of. And actually looking at it, I don't think it would be all that difficult. So looking at their content, what we're really looking for, Google recommends about 1,500 to 2,000 words. Doesn't have to be all words. Pictures can be saved with content as well, so you can get some from there. They clearly don't have that much on their site. So that is one way that they would be able to be beaten, would be by having a site with those 1,500 to 2,000 words. But the other thing they do have that works similar is this here blog. And blogs work almost the same way. The reason Google wants either blogs or so much content is they're hoping that if you have that much content on your page or words, that you're educating people on Google. And they essentially want you to be giving something out like that. So they're going to actually rank those sites higher. But I always say, why just have the same as them? Why not have both? Have the amount of content on your page and have a blog, for instance. And then you could actually, help to get ahead of them. But the other reason that you do want that much content is the more content you do have on your homepage, the more keywords or keyword phrases you can put into that. So as an example, I've just put roofing Columbus, Georgia into my search here. And the reason I've used this because it's got really good volume. It's got about 200 people who search this exact phrase like this every single month. And this is also a phrase that new customers are searching because as you can see, it doesn't have a specific company attached to it. So let's look through their eyes. First thing we're going to see are these ads. Second thing we're going to find is this map section, also called GMB or Google My Business. And this is going to bring us to our second topic, which is citations. So top 3 companies in the area are going to show up in this little preview window. You could click view all to go just to the map section. But on the main search page, this will also show up to give you some more exposure. And the way companies have done this is by citation. So they've got their business name, their business address, and phone number. Those 3 things all listed together into a directory site. And these are sites like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Home Advisor, just to name a few that I'm sure you've heard of. And also, you could also use a page like Facebook, for instance, for these. That would actually have the same effect if you had like a business page and you put in the website your site, as long as it's the same and everything else is the same, that would count as a citation to help you for this. These companies obviously have really good citations. And next up we have our organic section. We're going to get 10 results that show up per page here. So these all show up in reference to our key phrase, Roofing Columbus GA. And so this is actually how they're ranked. So number 1 for Roofing Columbus GA goes to Better Business Bureau, which is a directory. 2 goes to Home Advisor, which is also a directory. 3 goes to Yelp, another directory. 4 finally goes to Superior Roofing Company, an actual company. And 5 goes to expertise.com. So 4 of these 5 are actually directories. And while some people think those are hard to beat, they're actually pretty easy to beat because Google prefers a local company to having a directory in there. Next thing I've done, I actually took your site, even though it's not currently really up. I took it and just plugged it in to a program I use called Eris, which helps me to analyze sites, just to see how it's doing anyway. And I can see you don't have any headers on it, and maybe it wasn't set up at all because I can see there's really nothing registering here. But I did want to just kind of check it out and show you that, it's not really registering if you had set it up at one point. So what I'll do is hop over to Superior Roofing and use their site as an example. Typically, you would see a something bolded up here, which would typically be their header on their pages. and that actually helps Google to find them a little easier. They don't currently have it, so it's one more area they could improve in. But then the next thing we'll talk about is backlinks and referring domains. And this brings us to our third topic today, and that's backlinks. So referring domains are just websites that you essentially have links on. And when people click those links, which are the backlinks, that's what actually is going to redirect them back to the page. So for this case, it's superiorroofingcompany.net. So in our example we used earlier, Facebook, if we had a Facebook business page, your Facebook business page would be the referring domain, and the actual link would be the link you put in for your site. So when you put in your web as being superiorroofingcompany.net in this case, that would be the actual link. So you can have more than one link per website. As you can see, they have a good amount there. They have over 3 or over 30, or I guess so. Oh no, sorry, over 3 per website. And the more of these you have, the higher Google's going to trust you even more. It's essentially like this site's vouching for you and saying this is a legit site. You can trust them. So that's why you really want to have quality ones, not spammy ones, which some companies do have, which doesn't help them very much because they disappear very quickly. You want to have links that last with and the ones that are going to give you the most trust. So the more of the trust you have, the more keywords you get that show up. The keywords that show up, that's what brings you the actual visitors. So there's 684 keywords are bringing almost 100 visitors right now, the 99 there. And we can actually click the keywords, just see a couple that they have and kind of see how they're doing. First one that's showing up is roofing Columbus, Georgia here. And we can see, like I said, 200 people search this exact phrase or keyword every single month on Google. That's what we use for our example, and that's why, 'cause it's one of the best ones. And we can see for Superior Roofing, they're ranked number 4 for that. So there's 10 results per page. If you want to get on the first page, and believe me when I tell you do, that is where you're going to get all the visitors. So being number 4 is going to get you about 17 of the 200 visitors. So, or the volume. So right now they're getting 17 visitors to their actual site by being number 4. Typically number 1 is going to get you between about 20 and 35% of the volume. People who search you by name, such as Superior Roofing, this one here with the location, that means they know who you are. It could be some referrals. It's also people who saw your signs. As you can see, they're ranked number 1 for this one, and they're getting 13 actual visitors out of the total 40, so it's a much higher percentage. And the higher up you are, the better it is, and it goes down as you get lower. So basically you want to collect as many keywords that you can get on the first page, and the higher you can get ranked, ideally in the top 3, you're going to get much higher percent of visitors. The more you get, obviously the more visitors to your site. Alright, so now that you guys have that information, there's really 3 things you can do with it. Number 1, if you're happy with where you're at, and maybe you're getting visitors other ways, or business other ways, you obviously don't have to do anything with it, right? If you have someone you work with or someone that's working on your site now, show them the video. Maybe there's some good tips that will help them. Number 3, if you either, don't have anyone you're working with and you are looking to grow, or maybe you have some questions. Obviously all the services that I've talked about are things that I am able to do. So feel free to ask me any questions and I'd be happy to help you guys out. But thank you for your time. And if you have another site as well, in addition to this one, if this is an old one, I'd be happy to check that out for you as well. All right, but thank you for your time, guys. Have a great day.